Everything in your life. The way you think. The way you move. The results you get. It all comes down to habit. Not the flashy stuff. Not the overnight wins or viral moments. Just the small, consistent choices you make every single day. That's what shapes your future more than anything else. See, most people think success comes from one big moment. One lucky break. One major breakthrough. But the truth? Success is built in the mundane. In the unseen. In the things you do when no one's watching. The real difference between people who win and people who don't comes down to one powerful habit. One shift. One choice. One decision that can change everything, almost overnight. Here's the thing. Most people, they're stuck. Running on autopilot. They wake up, hit the same routine, go through the motions. They react to life instead of creating it. They scroll. They drift. They wait for motivation to magically show up. Meanwhile, their goals just sit there. Untouched. Out of reach. And they wonder why they're stuck. Why they feel behind. Why nothing ever seems to change. But here's the secret. There's one habit that separates the winners from everyone else. And no, it's not complicated. It's not something only the elite can do. It's not reserved for the lucky few. It's something you can start right now. Ready? Take full control of your time and energy. That's it. No more drifting. No more waiting. No more living by default. This one shift changes everything. Because when you take control, you stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You stop letting distractions decide your day. You stop being ruled by your emotions. You move with purpose. You act with precision. You build momentum, fast. And suddenly, you're not the same. You feel different. You think different. You operate at a level most people never reach. And while they're still stuck in reaction mode, still making excuses, still trying to feel motivated, you're executing. You're winning. You're becoming the person you're meant to be. Why is this habit so powerful? Because it doesn't just affect one part of your life. It affects everything. How you start your day. How you bounce back from setbacks. How you stay locked in when it's hard. It becomes the foundation of all your success. But most people never get there. They live on autopilot. Letting life push them around instead of taking the wheel. But the moment you flip the switch, the moment you say, "This is my day, I decide how it goes," everything starts to change. So let me ask you, are you ready to take control? Are you done reacting, and ready to build something real? Are you willing to create the habit that transforms your future? Because once you do, you won't go back. You can't go back. The second you commit to owning your time and energy, life starts moving at a different speed. You wake up with purpose. You cut out the noise. You follow through, no matter what. And the results? They don't just add up. They multiply. Because most people don't have a time problem, they have a focus problem. They think they're busy. But they're just distracted. They think they're working hard. But they're just spinning in circles. You fix your focus. You fix your life. Let me ask you this. Who's really in control of your time? You. Or your distractions? Because if you're not in control, someone else is. And this world? It's built to steal your attention. Non-stop entertainment. Endless scrolling. Opinions flying at you 24/7. If you're not intentional, you'll wake up one day and realize years have passed. And you're no closer to the life you want. That's why this habit, this decision to take full control, it's everything. Because the second you stop reacting, the second you start choosing what gets your time, you separate yourself from 99% of the world. You stop waiting for success. You start creating it. You stop hoping things will change. You become the change. See, winners, they don't waste time. They protect it. Because they understand something most people never do. Money. You can earn more. Opportunities. They come and go. But time. Once it's gone forever. So how do you make the shift? How do you step into this new level of discipline and ownership? It starts with one choice. A decision to stop living in reaction mode. A commitment to stop letting the outside world dictate your priorities. From now on, you're in control. Not your mood. Not your distractions. Not your excuses. You. That means setting boundaries. Saying no to anything that doesn't serve your mission. Cutting out the noise. It means waking up with a plan, and following through on that plan no matter how you feel. You take ownership of your schedule. Of your energy. Of your attention. And once you do that, you'll notice something almost instantly. Things start to move, fast. Because most people aren't falling behind because they're lazy. They're falling behind because they're leaking time. Time lost to hesitation. To indecision. To tasks that don't actually matter. But when you stop leaking time, when you eliminate distractions and get laser focused, you get more done in a single day than most people do in an entire week. You move faster. You execute sharper. And progress that used to take months starts happening in days. It all comes back to one decision. Are you the one steering the ship? Or are you just being tossed around by the waves? Because the people who win, the ones who really change their lives, they're not waiting for inspiration to strike. They're not sitting around hoping someone else figures it out. They're executing. Every single day. No excuses. No negotiations. Just action. This isn't about working harder. This is about working smarter. More focused. More intentional. Because time is not your problem, how you use it is. And here's the reality. Most people are busy. But they're not productive. They confuse movement with progress. But activity without purpose is just wasted energy. You want to change your life overnight? You have to stop being busy. And start being effective. That means cutting out anything, and I mean anything, that doesn't push you forward. That means dropping the things that feel productive but don't actually move the needle. Because winners don't do things just to feel busy. They don't wake up and ask, what should I do today? They know. They have a plan. They execute that plan. No hesitation. No distractions. They don't let the world set their priorities. They set their own, and defend them like their life depends on it. Because it does. That's the shift. That's the difference. You either let life happen to you, or you happen to life. So here's the question you need to answer. How do you start your day? Do you wake up and grab your phone? Scroll aimlessly? React to texts, emails, the news, the noise? Or do you wake up in control? Because how you start determines everything that follows. Winners, they don't waste that first hour. They don't check notifications. They don't drown in distractions. They get focused. They get centered. They take control. Because they know, if they don't dominate their morning, the day will dominate them. And here's what separates the committed from the casual. Discipline beats motivation. Every time. Motivation feels good. But it's inconsistent. It comes and goes. Some days, you'll wake up fired up and focused. Other days, you'll feel drained, distracted, uninspired. That's where most people tap out. But winners? They show up anyway. They've trained themselves to act, whether they feel like it or not. They don't wait to be in the mood. They move first, and let motivation catch up. Because they know the truth. Action creates motivation. Not the other way around. You don't need to feel like doing it. You just need to do it. The feelings will follow. The momentum will build. And what felt impossible yesterday, becomes your new normal today. But here's where almost everyone fails. They try to live with one foot in both worlds. One foot in focus. One foot in distraction. One foot in discipline. One foot in comfort. And they wonder why they never move forward. But if you want real change, if you want your life to shift fast, you have to go all in. You have to cut the noise. Cut the excuses. Cut the time wasters. Be brutal about it. Protect your time like your future depends on it, because it does. That means no more half commitments. No more, "I'll try." No more, "maybe later." You draw a line. And on the other side of that line is the version of you that wins. Because when you're locked in, fully committed, the results come fast. Faster than you imagined. You start making decisions differently. You stop explaining yourself. You stop negotiating with distractions. And most importantly, you start building momentum. And momentum? That's the ultimate force. Once you have it, you don't just progress, you accelerate. You start stacking wins. One after another. Small victories that snowball into massive transformation. But here's the part no one tells you. This isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. Every single day, you wake up and decide. Today, I'm in control. Today, I protect my time. Today, I move with intention. You have to recommit, over and over, until it becomes who you are. Because if you let your guard down, even for a second, distraction creeps back in. Focus fades. Old habits return. And suddenly, you're back where you started. But winners, they don't let that happen. They stay sharp. They stay disciplined. They protect their momentum like it's their most valuable asset. Because it is. Once you have momentum, everything becomes easier. Your mind gets sharper. Your results come quicker. Your confidence explodes. You become the kind of person who doesn't need reminders or motivation. You just execute. And that's the difference. That's why some people rise, while everyone else stays stuck. So I'll ask you one last time. Are you in control of your time? Or are you letting distractions control you? Because once you make the decision, once you draw that line in the sand, once you say, enough. No more wasted time. No more drifting. Everything changes. Your life. Your energy. Your progress. It all starts moving, fast. Because now you're not leaking time. You're not bleeding energy. You're not stuck in the cycle of, someday. Now you're intentional. Now you're focused. Now you're dangerous. And once you start living like that, there's no going back.